Good morning. Oh my god, I'm completely out of focus. Of course I am. Good morning, everybody. Give me 1 second to fix that. I forgot that the whole camera was disconnected. I'm gonna try this as close as I can. Hold on. Technical difficulties. Okay, that's close enough. Good morning, everybody. That's a pretty good, accurate representation of what this morning feels like, I think. Hope you're all doing well. Happy Monday. As you can see, I'm very awake. I don't even think I got my hair ready this morning. Allison is not attending today, probably. She, I think, had a rough night. I woke up a couple of times and she was just already awake, so I don't think she slept much. So I told her this morning that she can sleep in. So it's just us. We're just hanging out. I have tea. I'm gonna chill with you guys. Hi to everybody over on Twitch. By the way, I see Mafek and Wi-Fi and Smalls and Wee Brownies over there. Good morning to Cassandra. Glad you could be here. Where we are half up. Am I doing okay? I'm doing okay. Could be better, could be worse, though. I stopped myself before I got... It was going to be my fault, but I stopped because I'm learning healthy habits. So I'm feeling better than I coulda. I am also on Twitch. Hi, Flameran. Let's see. I don't have a lot planned for today. This is going to be pretty loose. Yeah, healthy habits. I've got I've accepted at this point that things are different than they used to be at 33, being married and an adult and shit. And now I'm just trying to figure out what to do about it. Like, just how to, like, adjust, because I'm trying to... Can you not do that right now? Alice is trying to sleep. Where is she? There's a cat. Anyway. Used to, if I had a big master plan for how to get the channel back on track and running again and stuff, I would just get up and burn through every ounce of energy I had every single day, and I would sleep it off in about 7 hours, and then I would get up in full energy and do it again, and I would just do that on repeat like a machine until it was done. And now I have to, like, manage my like needs bars like I'm in a fucking survival game. So the genre changed, that's all. Slightly more challenging. But the goal is still the same. I can't tell where the cat is. I feel like I'm hearing noises echo around the room like an alien is about to attack. Why did Kyle face so much burnout? Yeah, there were no repercussions of the way that I used to do that either. Anyway. Right, yeah, so, like, I probably should have been doing it this way earlier, too. Now I have to, because that's how your body works, apparently. If you just burn through it, it will demand that you take better care of it eventually. So yeah, I'm figuring it out. I've got some things down, and I communicate more about the things that I'm going through, and Allison helps me decide what to do differently. So we had all that to say, and I'll be talking to the crew currently in chat about this later today, because they haven't gotten any updates on this either. But the next video will likely be delayed, and I'm working on how to, like, make sure that our schedule is set up in a way that everything can get done in time in the future. But we do have another video coming out this month, and it's gonna be good. I'm really liking the script for it a lot. Cass says I'm in between those areas right now, I think. I know exactly where you are on that path because you're following very close to the same path I did, so I can kind of map out roughly where you are on it. Hopefully you can avoid the total crash out and just fit, transition evenly from one to the other. YouTube channels are subject to invisible forces no one can understand. The two almost identical channels get treated completely differently by the algorithm. Yeah. I don't think anybody has any idea why either. I think our theory is that like channels get some kind of like markers placed on them, and the fact that the Doremaster channel has been around for so long means that like different kinds of uploads get treated certain ways, and they wouldn't if they were on different channels. Like there's no reason that posting a Civilization sketch now still would just like jump to 150,000 views almost immediately, and it still does. Which just to me, it's like, I don't know, it's like you carve out this notch that it's really hard to get out of for some reason. The essays work pretty damn good though. They get spread around, and we actually get outside views, largely non-subscribers watching, which is really cool. And I think if you do the same thing consistently enough, you can kind of get yourself out of whatever rut that you were in and into another one. So I'm not worried about the ability to make it all work still. And there's more profit in using the established channel than like starting a new one, which we've discussed many times over the years. I lost my train of thought. You can't ban anybody. Cass, why are you asking? From what I've heard, Civ 7 is mid. I haven't heard anything about Civ 7, so I'm assuming that it is. At some point I'll do a Civ 7 sketch. I just didn't want to do, like, that felt like doing a Civilization 7 sketch feels like a coming back to sketches event, not just like a one-off out of the blue kind of thing. So it doesn't seem like the right time. Plus, I didn't do Civilization 5 sketches until that game was years old anyway, so tradition dictates I cannot do one just because it came out recently. Then you do a Civ 7 sketch where you had to edit your hair. That was like end of Civ 6. I was referencing the upcoming Civ 7 rule changes, but it might even be March Civ 7. I might just be full of shit. I don't know. I've not played the game, so in my mind, it was like, no, that was like the end of the last collection of them. I thought that was a promo ad for 7. I mean, that would be silly, because no one from Civ has ever paid me to do any of those. Despite being a very popular meme. How dare they? Happy New Year, Lucas. Thanks for joining. And they still haven't got Venice back, so like, what is even the point? Wait till that expansion pack, and then we'll do another one. Anyway, how's everyone doing? We got people getting to enjoy their mornings. You got some nice hot drinks. Sorry that it's only me today. The energy is going to be very different. Hopefully Allison's getting some sleep. My elaborate 8D chess idea is to get you to make Zomboid sketches now. We made the one, and it was honestly really funny. I forgot that we did it. It was kind of like a throwaway sketch, but it's the one with me and Matt and the zombie bite. I went back and watched it recently. It was good. It was very good. It's really fun getting to go back and rewatch old sketches because I forget entirely that I made them or the process of making them, and sometimes I go watch them and I know that during the process it was just messy and second guessing and, making art. So it's, you never like the thing you're working on exactly. You just like the process of working on it. And then I go back years later and watch them again, and I'm like, oh, this is really funny. I get why people liked this. The brick joke, yeah. I'm glad I did that when I did it. I was thinking about just holding on to it for a while, but if I had held on to it, it would have been way too long. Like I would but eventually once I got back to it, nobody would have known what I was doing. Most Civ content creators I know strongly disliked Civ 7. I don't know what to do with, basically because it's unfinished. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the problem with that whole genre of games is they release it without all the features, and then they just put up DLC later. It's also weirdly like multiplayer focused. I don't doubt that the quality has diminished. Like, not many things are holding up these days. Civ 6 is like that one Mankind game, but worse. That sucks. Good night, Citrath. Yeah. I'm deciding if I should say the next thing. I'm not gonna think about it too hard. I'm just gonna say it. You know what game is surprisingly good? Because we grabbed it yesterday for $7 so that Allison had something to play while I was writing a script all day. Oh my god, Smalls has a game. I really, really want to play that. I keep forgetting that I have it, and I would like to play it on stream at some point. We should do that for like our next Wednesday evening stream. It would be really cool. I'm not sure what that's going to be. Oh no, I know what this is. Do you? Did you see us playing it last night? It's, why is Cass texting me? Deciding, you really do not say you got that game. Everyone has thoughts. I can't. I'm gonna have to say it because now I've teased it too much. So we decided to try Hogwarts Legacy. I agree, this stuff's too far. Don't say it. Too late. It's out. We just started. It was $7. It was like 95% off or something on Steam, and we were just looking for stuff to like. Allison usually looks for like a less than $10 game to try out when I'm doing like big production things. So she grabbed it to try it, and it was it's surprisingly, like, it's genuinely, honestly very well made. I thought it was a really cool, like, dedicated fan work from the thing that from the bits that I saw of it, and I was actually pretty impressed. I know it's a fair response, and had I the time, I might have insisted on attempting to steal it anyway. But we did at least pick it out of like the bargain bin. Like it was we paid trash for it. Honestly, so millennial of you too. That's completely fair. Piracy isn't free. It costs time if you don't have the system set up. Anyway, like, fuck J.K. Rowling in every possible way, obviously. But the game's good. Like, the game's just good. It's really what, like, I've played. I was shocked at like how much love and care was put into every single detail of it. And I don't know. I've got opinions on like I don't think giving money to objectively awful people who use that money for bad things is a good idea. So for the most part, you know, I get the backlash, and I'm glad that it got so much backlash that it can only be sold at 95% off in the bargain bin on Steam. Excellent. Great news for everyone. But also, it's like, there's a certain, I'm trying to think of how I want to phrase it. The house elf bit is even worse in the games than the books, movies. I don't think I've seen that yet. I have not run into anything like especially offensive in the game. So far, we're still in like the very early stages. And I'm kind of watching it off to the side as I work on stuff. And it's mostly just been like tutorials and wizard land. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if there's like, but the parts that I've seen feel very much like fans just made a adventure game in the world that they liked, which to me I'm kind of all for. It's like if you have like if a shitty person makes a thing that is good, it doesn't necessarily make that thing corrupt if they accidentally made something good, and if a collective group can get a hold of it and do something cool with it without giving them money, I'd say more power to them. And that's kind of just my thoughts on like the overall thing. Backdoor really does not like the game, and that is I'm not going to say you're wrong because I don't know enough about it yet. No, this is the internet. We feel nothing but hatred. This is okay. We're up. We know that. We get up and rant about things every morning, and I don't think I need to rant about J.K. Rowling. I think let's all just assume I'm on the actual, like I'm on the wavelength against J.K. Rowling, right? Like we know, I understand, and I'm now in her target group, so not a fan. They're actual fan-made Harry Potter games. I believe you. Kyle, I'm 5'3" to even comprehend the rage. I didn't get to grow up with Harry Potter. I would have loved it at the time, but I was too busy talking about Jesus, and you couldn't do both at the same time, so that's why I didn't actually get into it. But the base of it is just, the base of it's solid, and then the movies I think really elevated it for a lot of people. Like the game isn't like about the books, right? It's clearly like they're locations from the films in there, and once you get a movie crew on something, you're talking about like an entire gigantic crew of artists all working together on that thing now. Kind of in this, like, I don't know, Lord of the Rings is also one, that doesn't have a transphobe as the original author, but it is like a lot of the cultural knowledge and like current state of Lord of the Rings comes from the whole film crew and the entire country of New Zealand getting together to turn that into something. And like at some point the original author starts mattering less. And not to just keep stirring up shit with Allison not here to help me voice my thoughts better, but I think there's also a bit of a double standard in the gender of the author, because there's lots and lots and lots of male authors that are terrible, and we still take their things and run with them, and we go, no, death of the author. This thing exists outside of the person who wrote it. It's completely fine. You can just forget that person's weird bigotry and like the world that they made instead. But then, we kind of come down hard on the equally bad women, but for some reason they're the ones that get picked out, and suddenly now it's a crime to like the vibe of Harry Potter universe, which I just think is maybe a little bit silly. I think you can have space for both feelings at the same time. H.P. Lovecraft is dead and J.K. isn't. That does help. It does help when they're dead. Hopefully that doesn't take too much longer. Allison's awake. So maybe she'll come join us at some point. Good morning. Hey, I think that's Thomas. Hey, how's it going? Sorry, I'm missing comments, which is rude of me, considering what I'm talking about. I think you can like the world of Harry Potter, you just can't engage with the official IP in any ethical manner. Yeah, I mean, sending money their way is not good. I will give it that. I don't really know exactly how. Like, I don't know how much of my $8 on Steam, like, she got. So. You know, I do apologize if I accidentally gave J.K. Rowling $1. It was not on purpose. I was busy. I was busy trying to get work done, and I needed an entertaining thing on in the background. I think with the game that she was already paid for the license. That's kind of what I was thinking. There are so many games. H.P. Lovecraft turned around on his hateful views. I don't know much about Lovecraft, actually. But I know a lot about lots of other living male filmmakers and writers that still constantly get paid and praised for their work and defended against all the horrible shit they do. Talking about Harry Potter without me. Hey, there she is. Yes, I, against my better judgment and without you present, decided to let them all know that we have been dabbling in the Harry Potter game. But I've been defending my thoughts on it. Most people are in a rage. People don't really seem to care as much as I was afraid they would. Mike and Thomas are fawning over your mom's cooking in the chat. Jesus fucking Christ, it's nice writing for you all. There goes our entire Patreon. Game isn't horrible, but it's really safe, if that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, all I've seen so far is just the beginning of just the opening parts of the game, and I just think, game design wise, they did a really good job. It's very solid, it's very pretty, it plays very well. Love the animations. The map design is very, very impressively done. The character work is really good too. I just think it's well done. And I don't know. I don't remember hearing about any of that part.
Coming to help you.
Allison's coming to help me. This is inconceivable. Backdoor's very upset.
Did you tell me we spent $6?
Yeah.
What's he upset about?
I don't know.
Is he upset that you like Harry Potter or that we bought the game?
Oh, we bought the game.
Has he played it?
I'm not sure. Have you played any of the game Backdoor? Did you pirate it or anything?
Or Steam gameplay?
The game is as much of a problem as the person who made it. Well, we've not seen that part yet. We
No,
just,
it's not.
I can't imagine that's true.
I'm getting in there. What were you thinking?
I had to get you out of bed somehow.
What were you thinking? So early.
I told him I was going to do it at 10.
You decided to
Had to
talk
come
about
at
Harry
10.
Potter?
I have nothing to talk about when you're on here. They did. Mike and Cass both tried to stop me from saying it.
Oh my god.
Kyle, you may make amends, but only by sending us all a piece of Allison's mom's lasagna.
Really is the best lasagna. I actually did a bunch of research into the game as soon as we got it about
Did you?
how affiliated it was with J.K. Rowling, and it's not. Has nothing to do with her. That's why it's great. I mean, it has to do with her intellectual property, so she'll get, whatchamacallit.
I assume she licensed it at some point. So she got paid for them to make the game. I don't know if she gets like a cut of every Steam sale though or anything.
No, it's the other thing. It's when someone like uses your song in a movie.
Well, that is royalties. That means you would get a cut.
Yes, royalties. She gets royalties. Yes, thank you. Yeah, she gets royalties, but otherwise she had absolutely no say in like how it was made, the way it was designed, anything about the characters or the world. And it's one of the best games I've ever played. So the actual game makers themselves put their whole fucking soul into that game, which is a bit insane because you wouldn't expect that a bunch of people would have wanted to, and then they clearly did not agree with J.K. Rowling in any kind of perception whatsoever, based on the way that they made the game and the characters, so...
Yeah, you'd think they would just... that people would like just avoid it altogether, but they were pretty invested. Like, I think they...
Yeah, 10 cents of the $6. Thank you also for the fact that, when did it come out?
A couple of years ago at this point, maybe?
Okay, so it's been out for years, and we never bought the game or even considered buying the game until it was literally available for $6. So I guess J.K. Rowling can ruin a trans woman's life with the 10 cents that we've offered her. But, I don't know, I'm just like, obviously, I feel like it's totally okay to be mad at J.K. Rowling and not engage in any of the things that have anything to do with her, but it's just, like, this is the same problem as it always is when it comes to, like, pulling that trigger consistently across the board. Do you know what I mean? About everybody with everything, musicians or, like, artists or authors, just in general. So, I don't know.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, again, I've mentioned this a couple times, but, like, this isn't, like, the same... Like, this wouldn't happen for buying a Tarantino movie or something for some reason, even though, like, we're talking about, like, an actual pedophile...
It's never happened for a Tarantino
sexist,
movie. And people
like,
don't even get the same kind of rage when you mention a Tarantino movie. And I think J.K. Rowling is a really huge piece of shit. I also think Tarantino is a huge piece of shit. Actually, you know what I don't think J.K. Rowling is on, like, the spectrum of awful? She's probably not a pedophile.
I mean, yeah, I don't think so. There hasn't been any evidence of that.
The only reason I say it is because, like, the spectrum of awful that we all have to casually live and engage with when it comes to, like artists specifically in any form and the way they make media that we have to buy and interact with is, like, it's fucked. The way that the spectrum is fucked, the way that you have to hold certain people accountable for certain people but not other people. And it's like, I don't know, she's not worse than anyone else. She's on the exact same playing field as all the people who are equally as awful as her, but then, like, you mention Tarantino or you mention... I don't know.
Yeah, they're just, I don't know, they're more of a shrug.
Like,
I don't even remember, like, Harvey Weinstein movies getting, like, fucking boycotted after...
Oh my god, I forgot about Harvey
after
Weinstein.
everything, like...
Don't get me started on Bill Cosby.
I'm not unfamiliar with the negative impact that
This is one of those, this is actually...
she's had, but...
Being angry about this specific thing, too, is also one of those, like real life to conceptual anger problems where it's like, okay... Conceptually being mad that somebody played a game that J.K. Rowling had nothing to do with but uses her intellectual property, and then, like, the reality of somebody having spent $5 on a game that she had nothing to do with, like, general impact of having spent $5 on the Harry Potter game that only uses her for royalties is, like, zero impact. There's truly zero impact. Like there's an impact problem. There is the online rage of like a TikTok video, and then there is like the impact issue of like what actually happens when you engage with something like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, this comes down to like the recycling
if it becomes,
thing again to me.
Right. Like if you engage in the normalization of just like buying and catering to the art of terrible people, then that's a massive problem. But if you spend $5 on a game that came out 3 years ago that she has nothing to do with,
we're also not advocating for supporting J.K. Rowling, and also we didn't do that.
That's my biggest point and takeaway about it. So
yeah, I think that I think that's true, and I think
Wi-Fi
everybody
router said, "I'm doing my best to avoid problematic creators that are still alive." You're probably not avoiding them.
That's fine. That's
as much as you're trying.
Perfectly fair way to.
What do you guys think I'm doing?
To try and make it thing. I mean, yeah. You think?
If I thought for a second,
Allison just blindly makes decisions that put money in horrible people's pockets?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, if I
thought
for a second that $5 towards a Harry Potter game was going to have a rippling, damaging effect, I obviously wouldn't have done it. That's why I didn't spend 60 or 70 or 80 or however fucking much it was when it came out.
I think we're all like emotionally intelligent enough to like understand all of that at the same time, and then also be able to talk about like, hey, the game design's good on this thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's multiple seemingly conflicting truths can exist at the same time and often do.
Yeah. This is interesting. Rowling has had a lot more impact. She is in a very big and responsible way for the rise of the far right and transphobia in the UK. I kind of have beef with the idea that on the spectrum of bad, an activist who is from literal hell and garbage town and only says terrible things and like contributes to the growing hatred of queer people, and a man who definitely just like rapes children is like an easy spectrum to just be like, this one's worse. The activist is worse. Because I'm not sure that I agree if we're making like that argument of like impact.
I'm not even sure it's worth comparing because, which one's worse than the other. I just think it's like
you're comparing two different worlds. You're comparing the world of like trafficked youth in a damaging industry or like queer people. And, like, for most people, a lot of those worlds don't even, like, Venn diagram into there, so you're really only talking about, like, the communities within it.
Right.
And I'm just not sure that I'm not sure that her impact is greater. Like, genuinely. I think she has a massive impact. I think we're comparing two giant sun-sized issues together.
Hi, Mari. Awkward time to just see us and decide to join in.
I can't believe you decided to talk about this, weren't we? What were you thinking?
I was thinking it wouldn't actually be that big of a point of contention, and clearly I was mistaken.
Legacy also actively makes already pretty problematic goblins even worse.
Backdoor mentioned that too, nice. And I'm not sure. We haven't actually gotten to any part
that.
With them, so.
I actually thought about that when we were playing it though, because of the goblin Jewish comparison that people make all the time.
I thought they were just weird.
Well, I actually think people made the case pretty well that goblins are like a really offensive, stereotypical character of Jewish people.
Yeah, I mean the ones in the Harry Potter universe are pretty offensive.
Yeah.
And are slaves and are like, it's fucking weird. It's a weird part of it that shouldn't be in there.
Yeah, no, I think that's actually just a fully valid criticism. I didn't complete my thoughts on it, but as soon as I saw them, I thought about how often that's done.
Well, we're talking
how often that kind of negative Jewish character is done. But that's about as far as I thought.
Right. And that thought process. Goblins in fantasy have literally always been that, though. And I also, again, this is kind of the double standard thing. Like, they're also, I mean, I don't know, like Baldur's Gate, D&D, Tolkien stuff, like, yeah, goblins are pretty regularly this thing, and I think it's an easy thing to then pin onto J.K. Rowling as well, and it should be, because makes ridiculous stereotypes into like full-fledged characters. Like, she was not a good writer, and a lot of her biases became very clear through the writing. We all know that. This isn't news. But they're not usually bankers. It's a lot more direct. That's true. I do agree with that. Making them specifically the bankers
Cass,
was like the...
Can you figure out how much she got in royalties from spending
From
$5 on the game?
Yeah, I'm actually...
She's making the point that we could have gone out of our way to spend even less money. And I think that's a bit silly on the $5 to $0 comparison of like whether or not we should have
Whether or not
spent
there was,
that
like,
money.
an impact.
Yeah, I mean, we could have put in significantly more effort to figure out how to have played the game for free, but it was the effort, functionally zero cost, that made us buy it in the first place. So...
Right, yeah. It was like, oh, hey, we can take a look at this because it's at the point where we're not funding the Harry Potter universe at this point.
Right. Phoenix
So
says,
we can
I just
look
want to
and
be
see what
good
it
to
is."
trans folks. They're nice.
Thanks. I agree. Actually really liked the trans character introduced in the Harry Potter game.
I also
Thought she
liked
was
her
cool
quite a
as
bit.
hell.
I also liked her quite a bit. Are Jewish people usually bankers? This is an interesting...
Well, no, they're
we're talking about the-
stereotyped as controlling the money, so that's why it's like a... That's why it's a bit
I see,
racist to make
I
an
see.
entire race of Jewish-looking and...
But in real life, I've
I say
never
looking,
met...
like, it's a group of entirely Jewish stereotypes as, like, a whole race that also controls the wealth is, like...
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
In real life, I don't think that's true. I think from what I remember seeing from history is that, like, there's
Grace says, when reading the books, I have never though seen a goblin and thought, hey, that makes me think of Jews. I felt a bit like the Tolkien orcs were based on the Mongolian people type of argument. I don't know how I feel about the one for Lord of the Rings, because I don't know enough about it.
Yeah.
I wasn't part of that conversation. I was part of the conversation. Like, I watched it from a distance and then didn't come to a conclusion because I didn't know anything about orcs or the people it was supposedly a racist character of. I do think the goblins are just...
The goblins are pretty overt. It's hard to avoid that one.
Yeah.
But there is a step of separation between like writers putting their personal prejudices into their work and then time and culture watering that down to the point where, like...
Hang on. This is kind of... A little bit of this is pissing me off. This idea that, like...
Which part?
None says... You don't need to spend money at all for that to be an issue. You've contributed to the metrics. You've contributed to the next shareholder meeting when they talk about sales. This energy has never been brought for any of the problematic people that I have brought onto this show or talked about. Like, the mass amount of problematic people who are on scale with the things that this woman has done, but this energy has never been brought towards the people in regards to being like, your one thing had this massive, like, I can't even convince people to vote for the very same reason. This argument, this line gets pushed constantly over and over the place, dependent on the person or the content, and especially the people involved in engaging with it, and the nuance for the way that it's engaged with completely goes out the window, and it's super frustrating because, like, what do you mean? What do you mean our one $5 buying of this game 3 days late contributed to this mass effort of metrics to show that trans people don't deserve to exist over everything we've literally ever done? Like, that's an insane way to think about things, that, like, that's truly an argument worth sort of presenting in that way. That, like...
Yeah.
Anyway.
I know. I agree. I think it's worth considering that J.K. Rowling specifically within this group stands out as a problem compared to other people, and it's one that we tend to focus on because it is relevant to us. And that the same energy would not necessarily be brought to people causing problems outside of our circles.
We've been doing this for a long time. I've been talking about these things for a long time. Like, impact is obviously not something that like skips over my head. Impact is one of the first things I think about when it comes to daily life and how we're living and talking about these things. So like impact did not slip out of my brain. I wasn't like, you know what, fuck the impact, I'm gonna buy this game. It's almost like every single aspect of the way that like I interact with things is about how the impact is going to happen. So probably impactfully I wouldn't have talked about it on the stream because there's not like there's no benefit to normalizing the idea of like buying the game.
I'm starting to think that wasn't necessarily the best topic to bring up.
It's not because
stupidly thought it was going to be like a haha we like.
I don't think you should have brought it up because it makes you look bad. I just don't think there's any like.
I just wasn't prepared to have the conversation that was going to inevitably happen from it.
I know. That's okay.
Which was silly of me.
That's okay. Yeah, I think that like. I have a lot of feelings, obviously, about this and the way that this works, and like especially if we're talking about impact and normalization. Like the way that I've brought things up over and over and over again about how we don't do things in a vacuum, how our actions directly have like rippling effects over so many things. And there's like, and I don't know, and there's always this sheepish sort of energy around like, well, it's complicated. It's complicated. But for the most part, like,
see, yeah.
I'm thinking.
I'm also, while you're thinking, like just to try to like expand on this in case I can't tell like if we're making our point well.
Does this happen like if your friend went out and bought Harry Potter like the book for the first time? Is this the energy you're bringing? Like if you know somebody who got Harry Potter for Christmas, is the energy you're bringing to the parent like that you're contributing to a larger problem against trans people? I know trans people who like Harry Potter. I mean, there's like, and that's people's child. Like, there's like, and we kind of exist in the middle of this spectrum too, because like, I know people who are obsessed with like Disney World, Harry Potter, like the millennial childhood proper. Like, that was what brought them joy in like some of the darkest times in their life, and then they grew up, and then like that ended up getting twisted and turned into something awful, and like, do you go
like,
around
what about
holding
Disney?
the contempt?
We're not doing this to Disney adults.
But do you go around holding the contempt for those people who want to buy Harry Potter books or buy Harry Potter things? Like engaging within the art that you do love and that has helped you, and then like the author on the other side of it benefiting because she turned into a bad person despite having built like elements of your life. It's I don't know.
Well, and if you do, are you also holding people's feet to the fire for paying to see Disney movies or going to watch Tarantino movies, or I had another good example, but I'm forgetting already because my brain is not like put together. But like, I don't know, like, look, if you're gonna like, if you're abstaining entirely from handing money in any way, from transferring any money to like anything that might leak into the pockets of people that don't deserve it, then I just hope that effort is being put across everything, because it's happening constantly with every single subscription and service and media, and unless you were buying somebody's zine off of Patreon or something, it's probably happening. And even there, Patreon's taking a cut, and I don't fully know what they're doing with it. So, if you're not handing people cash for a painting of a cat they made, like you're somehow going through and contributing things to people who are causing these problems just as much. J.K. Rowling's very vocal about it, and it's about a thing we grew up with, and it's about a thing we care about, so she's like got a spotlight on her, but people use Facebook every day, and they've caused war crimes, literal fucking war crimes, in the collapse of governments, and people still go onto Facebook. I'm sure you guys don't, but people do it all the fucking time. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt that you don't, but if you've gone and used Facebook and now you're making this argument, that's not great.
This is actually this is a good way to put the thing that bothers me so much, which is the idea that like it's not even just Facebook. It's like you were using Instagram casually, and then Facebook took it, and now you've become somebody who is engaged in the product of the person who has literally genocided places with the power of their ability to like have Facebook dismantle entire civilizations, which happened. which like literally happened. You're the one that told me about
Right.
how Facebook did that. And so like that's definitely the thought process that swirls around in my head, is like how, I don't know, almost how regular it is to like engage in these kind of things, and then to have been specifically like engaged and considered impact to have a lower quality of impact, so that you weren't showing up as part of the mass numbers when the game came out, or spending like $80, which is contributing to another massive capitalist problem
Right.
of people who buy $80 games as soon as they come out because they're excited, when it's like, don't.
There's also like journalists covering the game when it came out. I'd argue they had a pretty big impact on its sales, probably.
Were journalists covering the game?
Well, yeah, there was. If you made a video shitting on the game, you were also giving the game press. There's things to be said about that being an issue contributing to the game's popularity and
Right.
sales and
In terms
metrics.
of
Like,
in
You
terms
could-
of the impact spectrum, there's a lot of places to start.
well, there's just
And there's
it's not a. I think people boycotted the game pretty damn good because currently it's sitting at
Yeah.
dirt cheap prices. Like it works. The thing works.
Yeah.
The backlash works. Good job.
Nestle, the chocolate company, does so much harm, taking water rights, child labor, slavery. This is kind of the point, but a lot of the things that you guys are talking about is forced engagement. Like, you guys don't you have to buy water, you have to
Right.
buy food, you don't know who owns it. They do a really good job of hiding it
To some degree,
You
yeah,
can't
I mean-
live your life wandering around, open your phone and being like, does Nestle own this thing? So
That's literally what The Good
and I
Place
agree
is
that
about.
there's- yeah, actually, I think Nunn just mentioned that.
Oh,
that it's
really?
the sin calculator. But there is a difference. There is a separation of that versus actively buying a game. There's a difference, right?
Yeah.
There's a difference between like partaking in Nestle or being on Facebook when Mark Zuckerberg, like, if you were on Facebook and then you find out about all this Facebook stuff, or you don't even know when you join Facebook now, it's like, that's different, because I feel like people don't know, like, this is the context, this is the nuance,
Yeah.
right? Like, you join Facebook now, people don't know what Facebook has done. They couldn't possibly know everything that Mark Zuckerberg has been a part of, and like how Facebook has
Right,
helped
yeah.
to dismantle entire
Like, my
civilizations.
parents don't know any of that.
Right.
They're
They
just
probably
checking
know
on
about
their
J.K. Rowling.
nephews.
They probably know about J.K.
I'm not
Rowling.
even
So
sure
I'm not
they
saying
do.
it's like a zero impact thing. It's just a small impact thing. And then it's also one of those like impact to like life quality situations. I think Sasquatch mentioned is it Sasquatch? I feel like it is.
Is Sasquatch at his computer on YouTube, or maybe, I don't know.
No, it's Sasquatch.
Sasquatch is the current one, yeah.
What's the other thing? What was I saying? What was I in the middle of saying?
Oh,
Right. So it's not about negative to zero impact. It's just about like, and I think my biggest demand for the people in my life, or even mostly just people in my life, I really can't hold other people accountable, I've learned, is about not just avoiding impact, but understanding it. Like, truly understanding impact, the role that it does play, and how there's a difference between something like owning a Nestle product, having a Facebook page, buying a game that gives royalties to a trans person, buying a book that gives royalties to a
transphobic person.
Like, the spectrum of understanding is significantly more important to me than, I guess, than like the purity of not engaging in those things.
Yeah.
Because it's a massive demand.
I think you're explaining that well.
You hold the burden of knowing and not necessarily navigating. You hold the burden of navigating it too, but like, yeah, I'm trying to like express
I think you're actually doing a really good job.
the way that I feel about how that works. So I'm actually
Yeah.
not saying that we have like, we are not on the like can't avoid Nestle products in the grocery store spectrum of impact, but there's like we're engaging in like this side of the spectrum when it's my hand to like
Right.
our patio.
I think it's easy to be like to fall to one side of either shrug it off because it's too much to think of, and then or like, you know, hold everybody's feet to the fire when something happens that doesn't conform to your standard kind of thing. I think you have to realistically navigate through both of them, and also I have a problem with my much more simmering, slow burning rage that is how much attention this gets compared to other things that I have not been able to put into words very well yet.
Yeah.
But there are certain things that become, especially on the internet, like big sticking points because they were chosen in some way to be those things. And there are patterns to which things get picked and which things don't. And this is specifically standing out to me right now because we also just happened to see a video sent by someone who shall remain nameless about someone trying to talk about how Sarah J. Maas has a bunch of racial stereotypes and shit in her books. It's an insanely bad take. It's very dumb. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever compared to the actual content of her books. But people are eating it up. And there's just... It's interesting that there's a pattern...
I know, I just caught on to what you were talking about.
Female authors specifically get...
More attention
in this way
female
to the way that they female anything gets far more scrutiny than their male counterparts, and I am constantly writing videos trying to do the opposite towards like male filmmakers and writers and artists that are just getting away with shit, and everyone not only doesn't care but they praise them for everything that they do. This is why I did the whole Last of Us thing, because I had to sit and watch Neil Druckmann get fucking glazed for decades over his goddamn game series that he didn't even put any work into. I'm over-exaggerating by saying that he is not responsible for making good.
Right, let's
and
all
specifically added, like, it specifically was a problem the entire time, still is a problem of a human being, is definitely a Zionist, which is something people aren't super into right now, and yet he just won the fucking Game Awards. So... It's hard. It's really hard to like give a shit about like, well, you can't buy the bargain bin version of the copy of the game based off of the movies, based off the books J.K. Rowling wrote, because now you're adding a number to her shareholder like, don't award fucking Neil Druckmann for making the second garbage season of his garbage show.
I agree, and I think
I'm not phrasing it good.
No,
anyway.
I think the problem you're talking about I view as like a spotlight issue, which is that like a bunch of people doing equally horrendous stuff all sort of get away with the way that they do horrendous things because it's not spotlighted. And J.K. Rowling has had the spotlight on her since like... Because it was wild. Because it was wild to have written Harry Potter and then turned into a demon. Like, it was wild... to have written Harry Potter and been like, you know what,
and then turned out to
got
be...
some points.
Right.
Maybe I should be on the weird Nazi side of things. Like, that's why the spotlight is there, but the thing I'm talking about that I think you're also talking about is, like, you're right, while a bunch of Zionists...
Like, are we correct about J.K.
actually,
Rowling?
the worst people... Yeah.
Yes.
But hang on, so, like, they're all sitting in a room producing all this content that we're all just, like, buying because we don't have the knowledge because the spotlight hasn't moved. Like, it has to move for there to be, like, the common knowledge amongst everybody that, like, this person is a problematic person and we shouldn't engage with their content in the same way that we have been engaging with their content. But, like, your video is an attempt of spotlight on the Duffer Brothers, who are... Not the Duffer Brothers. That's Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Neil
that's
Druckmann,
the next video.
Neil Druckmann and his weird relationship with Craig Mazin when they kiss each other.
Yeah.
Which, I'm not homophobic, but just kidding. Just trying to pile it on. Anyway.
No, but they are. That's why it's funny.
But you tried to shine, like, a spotlight on them, which I think you did a very small one because your channel only has so much impact. But you also make the balancing point that I'm talking about, which is about impact, action, and, like, the grand scheme of how somebody navigates their life. Like, it's not like we spend all this time cowering around the ideas that we shouldn't hold people accountable or that we shouldn't be aware of our impact. That's, like, not who we are.
What, who we are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree.
Like, these aren't things that we're,
I think everybody knows that. If somehow us getting the Harry Potter game changes your opinion of us, that's silly, and we should we can try to talk about that some more. But ultimately, you should think through that because we've made our thoughts very clear.
I stand in a different boat.
That's fine.
I've always been of the mindset of like, if anything we do changes your opinion on us, then like.
Sure, then don't watch us. I just think it's.
Okay.
Sorry, I shouldn't be interrupting you. I'm sorry. I'm ruining your morning.
No. I feel like I actually feel this way about a lot of friends in my life, which is like they say something and I'm like, what they meant, what I'm hearing, what feels differently from my end. Like constantly like
and
lassoing
then we jump in
people.
And we're like, no, I mean exactly what I said.
Like lassoing people because we have these conversations at dinner and then they get in front of people and they're like,
Yeah.
you know what? I said this at dinner last night and I'm like, no, my point.
Isn't it nice being the one that has to do that instead of the one being reined in though for once?
I don't need to be reined in. Everything I say is perfect. I say perfect things all the time. What was I going to say? What were you saying? Oh, no. If you don't like the things that we say, then you have every reason to be critical and judgmental. I guess the only reason here that it's not, like, being, I guess, like, perceived extremely well is because this is obviously criticism that we've, like, that is easy to anticipate because of all the J.K. Rowling stuff. Like, it's not like we live in a weird bubble devoid of how this stuff goes or how people feel about it.
I just feel like I've made myself clear. Just me, like I've made who I am very clear, like as much as possible.
I think this is also kind of an overlap of like life to online problems. Like I have never navigated a situation where someone I know has done something like sort of exceedingly or obviously problematic, like buy a Harry Potter book or I don't know, like dress as Bill Cosby for Halloween or do something kind of like bizarre like that. Because my genuine first assumption is that like they're missing a piece of the puzzle or that the value system is like off. But I mean, I have to navigate my parents. I have to navigate coworkers. I live in a world where I walk outside of my apartment, outside of the Discord, and I'm navigating with people who use ChatGPT for every single thought. Right? Like the AI conversation doesn't exist. The J.K. Rowling conversation doesn't exist. The Disney conversation, the capitalist conversation, like these things are only online or in the circle of people that you've actively decided to surround yourself with so that you can like have those conversations. But I know some great people who just aren't having these conversations. Like some of my favorite people that I'm navigating with in real life would not think twice about buying the Harry Potter game in any way whatsoever. And I know these people stand for the right things. They're just not on the activism side of things. They're not in the activism conversations of things. And I think that's where it's difficult because there's like translating your real life into your online communities, and especially somebody like you who has a online platform.
Yeah.
The translation is difficult because this is so far from even remotely a thing on people's minds outside of these conversations with you guys. Like, if I texted one of the people I talk to pretty regularly, like a coworker of mine, and mentioned that I played the Harry Potter game, she would be ecstatic. Like, just cheering because she loves those games. She loves the universe. She loves everything about them. She doesn't like J.K. Rowling, and that's the degree of which it goes because most people are navigating the world like that. And
yeah, you're right.
And I feel like that's kind of, there's like a communication error because you're also going to go, like we all went to holidays where our parents probably did and said outrageous things and no one canceled them. No one was like, I can't talk to these people. I mean, like there's obviously the spectrum again, the range of things, but
if it helps,
like
I've also never bought another Harry Potter product in my life. So, like, if you grew up buying the books and now you're anti-J.K. Rowling, you've spent more money on her than I have.
I would buy Harry Potter stuff for people I loved for Christmas. Like, I would. Like, if someone I genuinely cared about who was a good person who did good things in the world, which are the only people I care about, only loved Harry Potter stuff and wanted Harry Potter stuff, I'd buy it for them. Like, the impact to life living navigating the world thing is a constant It's something I'm literally constantly buying. And the reason I brought up Googling if products are made by Nestle in grocery stores is because I do it. Like, and I'm on Facebook. It's just, it's extremely complicated, like, spectrum of having to, like, zigzag in and out of these things.
You put time and effort into this stuff.
I know.
That I would not even be able to do if I tried, honestly.
Time, like, 2.5 years and a 95% discount. Or when did it come out?
Oh, yeah. The last 5 years blend together into a giant smear
like
to me,
said,
so it's hard to remember.
Someone said, like, Etsy products for like, buying people.
Oh, yeah.
Harry
Yeah,
Potter
the one
stuff.
that somebody makes.
Yeah, I'm not going to go to jkrowling.com and buy a Harry Potter scarf.
Or one of her amazing t-shirts.
Those were wild. Do you remember when we read all those pins?
Yeah.
Let's see.
J.K. Rowling herself has specifically
2023.
like anti-trans merch.
Yeah.
She's a menace. She needs to be removed.
Please don't tell anyone I shop on Amazon sometimes. Okay, but if you do shop on Amazon, you are actually probably destroying entire neighborhoods and ecosystems.
You personally.
Well, it depends on how much money you've spent. Was it more than $5?
Has a product you ever
Was
has
it
a product
$5?
you've ever had cross promotion with
Oh,
Harry
it's
Potter?
Thomas.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I truly, truly understand the value of the conversation and the value of the awareness. And I think I think it matters a lot. But I think there is a line in regards to, I don't know, maybe just like my online community and my real life having to navigate this kind of consumption and capitalism. But like, and this is a valid criticism if you want to have it, but this is not like where this line moves often, even for myself, like just the standard of having to exist and navigate all of these different platforms is like, I understand that J.K. Rowling and anything that has to do with her is not something that I'm forced into, like Amazon and groceries and Nestle's and Facebook and that kind of stuff. But I also understand how royalties work. I understand how $5 works. I understand how a singular game in the drop of a bucket of everyone who bought that game as soon as it came out for $80 works. Like, the demand for me, for myself, and actually for everyone else is not to be perfect, but to understand the impact spectrum so much more than it is to never engage with things that could be perceived as problematic. And that's the standard I hold for myself, which might be very different than the standard you hold for me, which is very fair and reasonable, and stick to your own standard. And if it's genuinely a problem, then it's a problem, and it's a valid one to have, I think. But yeah, we might just fundamentally disagree on what it means to, like, how that impact works, the greater rippling effect of it, like,
yeah,
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, and I'm only like up in arms because don't talk about Kyle like that.
I woke her up.
Don't talk about Kyle like that.
I feel so bad.
Don't talk about Kyle like that.
Imagine
canceling Kyle.
Talked about me like anything.
Good. I guess you're allowed to fight with Backdoor once every.
Backdoor's allowed to fight with us
15
occasionally. And Backdoor
years.
agrees with us too much. It's probably fine that he has some strong opinions against us occasionally.
Yeah, I think
It's probably healthy, honestly. Backdoor is a little bit too.
you know what?
Backdoor is our son.
I've actually talked about this a lot before, but I like when people have specific activism spots. Like, I think that's important, because I've talked about how it's impossible to be constantly aware of every single concept all the time, right? Like, this is why some people are vegan and some people are in the streets rallying for trans rights and some people are anti-capitalist, right? Like, it's not that. And the idea that that all three of those people should all be the same is like,
yeah,
it's too much, right? I've talked about this before, right? The weight of everyone having to maintain every morally, like, I don't know, moral decision based on every single action they might make is literally too much, and that the world is better functioning when people, like, pick their thing and make it like.
Yeah, like
100% of what they really care about.
When you have, like, an animal activist person and they focus on that thing, so that the rest of the world doesn't have to devote. Because having a massive
impact. Because what happens is if you get, like, 10 people and you tell them all to equally care about 10 different things, then their attention is split into very small sections of being able to like designate their attention and their activism into that thing. But if you pick one person and you're like, go all in on veganism, then they're making massive impact and ripples in the communities that they are a part of, because
yeah, Amun says my thing is with that is tech. I'm too in tech to not be aware of it, and that makes perfect sense, right? Like
Totally.
if you're in tech, I'm gonna like your AI activism, like your push against that kind of stuff is gonna be much more impactful and important than like my thoughts or opinions on it, because I don't interact with that on a regular basis. I don't actually get fully beyond the research I attempt to do, and I'm gonna listen to you. Because you know, and I don't.
I think mine has always circled around women representation in every single thing.
Yeah.
Work, media.
Mine's definitely been media
friends group
related.
Like, yeah, absolutely.
Which is why I call the fuck out of Craig Mazin for being a slimy creep, because nobody knows.
Well, importantly, your attention is always focused at the big baddie of a situation and never at the people navigating the smaller aspects. You've never.
I just have a problem-solving
mentality. I don't think you've ever
mentality.
Condemned anyone for their like smaller impact, because you're so like laser focused in on.
I have too much empathy for people for not. I like I'm trying not to say this in a way that sounds like I'm complimenting myself, but like I just can't get mad at people who, in my mind, feel like they don't fully know what they're doing. I guess like it's like someone watching The Last of, like I'm never going to be upset with someone casually watching The Last of Us show and thinking that was decent. Like that's fine. Like you don't know any of the information. You know, it's like you're a child in that situation. Like it can't be your fault.
Yeah.
For spending money on an HBO subscription to watch The Last of Us. It just can't.
What if you watched your video and then went and watched The Last of Us? I already know the answer to this, which is that you don't care.
I don't, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's why I'm struggling to figure out the answer, because I don't think I give a shit. I actually just want people to, the point I'm making, I want people to see it when it happens. I want it to happen in front of your face and for you to be able to recognize what's going on, right? Like, I want the next Craig Mazin to be obvious to everybody. That's my goal.
You're, like, this is kind of what I mean, is, like, you could expand your spectrum into criticizing everyone who like, interacts and navigates with the problematic thing, but you've always been laser focused on like the core problematic issue.
That's what in the movies. Like it doesn't help to like. I'm not gonna.
This is actually in the Hunger Games.
I've just been watching. Oh sure. I've been watching Stranger Things. So my thought is like, it doesn't like. Why go cut down fucking Demogorgons when you need to go straight for the guy in the middle to like kill all of them? It's a very video game mentality.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm not gonna fight the little tiny bad guys when the big guy's over there and they keep spawning because he's alive. Like go for that one.
Right.
That's what matters.
Yeah, I wouldn't even describe, like, the spectrum isn't even just little tiny bad guys to bad guys. It's all the way from, like, people who have actions that have allowed the Demogorgons to come in. Like, the spectrum's really big. But it's also Hunger Games. It's that mentality of, like, we've talked about, like, which one of us would have been Katniss. And I was, and when I was insisting it was Kyle, like, Kyle is made for, like, being forced into a Katniss perspective and also making a lot of the decisions she makes.
Be used to make a statement against
my... But in Hunger Games, one of the, like, prevailing... God, watch The Girl Who Made Those get canceled. I think about that all the time. Like, who's next on the list? Anyway, one of the prevailing things in Hunger Games is remember who the enemy is, because there's going to be a lot of really dog shit things happening to you based on people who are forced to navigate a system they don't want to be in. You know what I mean? Yeah. And, like, in Hunger Games, like, literally she interacts with people who want to kill her and hurt PETA, and, like, but they're victims and products of the system that she knows has, like, a bigger core cancer at the center of it. Yeah. And so she literally has to be reminded regularly to, like, keep her eye on the one bad person. That's never happened to you. You're just like, you're like not distracted. No. Someone will be like, what about how this person over here? And you're like, I'm not paying any attention. I'm going straight to Craig Mazin's house. I'm showing up at his door and I'm playing my video. And you know what I think is a consequence of that? I don't know how to prove it. but I'm right, and I can feel it in my bones in that way that we all got my mom on that plane at 1 p.m., which is that they watched your video. They saw it. I swear to God they saw it. I can feel it in every single part of my nerves and my bones. I can tell you when I think
like
they watched it.
I feel like you could be right.
I feel like I had a little jolt, like in my bloodstream the moment they clicked on your video because they saw their dumb faces and they couldn't help themselves. I know they watched your video.
I really hope that Neil Druckmann already was like had doubts, and then somebody sent him the video at like 3 a.m. and he watched it and he was like, I gotta leave, and that's why he quit the show.
That's what happens when you're laser focused on one part of a problem to decide that like that's the thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you could have been like, and boo for you for having engaged in this content, and boo for anybody who goes and watches The Last of Us after this.
That just doesn't make any sense, though. Think about how much thought I had to put into even articulating what the issue was. Like, there's no way. Like, I can't. It doesn't matter enough. There's no gain. The amount of work that goes into trying to hold someone's feet to the fire over that is not worth the outcome of having done so.
Yeah.
Like, even if you manage to make somebody go like, you're right, I'm part of the problem, and I have contributed, and I repent, and will never do it again.
Yeah.
Like, what did you do? What did you help by doing that? I don't know. Also, I wanted to answer a question that's been asked a couple of times.
Kyle would make a good figurehead for a revolution.
I don't like being volunteered for
her?
this. I don't like being volunteered for this position. I do not volunteer as tribute, and
okay, so I'm being a little bit mean to Chat, who had very fair and reasonable criticisms about the fact that we bought a $5 game that supported J.K. Rowling for 10 cents.
I understand why.
If it helps, I would throw 10 cents at her face.
If
it helps if I passed her in the street, I would chuck a whole ass quarter at her brain to see if it like sunk into a little demon flesh.
I do think I'd trip her if I realized it was her walking past me. I think I would absolutely just try to ruin her day.
I just meant that in my head, the 10 cents that she did get from the $5.
I meant I would do violence. I meant I would sneakily do a violent action.
See, we were making different points is what was happening. It's not that I wouldn't do violence. I was just making the point that the 10 cents that I did give her could arguably be seen as disrespect. Arguably. 10 cents for your massive universe.
Thanks for your game, you piece of shit.
Yeah, have a quarter.
Kyle, this is why she's a transphobe. Nice. No.
Oh, because of the violence you would commit to her.
Because yeah.
Yeah, well, chicken.
Wee Brownie says, I've tripped a celebrity I didn't like. Who? Tell us who. I want to know.
An icon amongst us. Honestly, doing more work than we've ever done.
I was totally unaware of this controversy before 7 a.m. today. This has been a flashbang of a conversation.
Do you mean the Harry Potter stuff?
The game, Harry Potter, or J.K. Rowling?
Wait,
depending on the answer. That's huge.
That's crazy.
There were a couple things I wanted to mention. I'm going to mention both of these things together. Somebody asked about the Facebook thing, about how Facebook has like destabilized countries, and the summary of it, without getting into like every little detail, is that basically there have been a few countries.
Oh, this guy looks
smaller nations, I think, in like
good job,
mostly South America, maybe Asia as well.
Gordon Ramsay ass dude.
Where Facebook made a deal with that country's government to be the only internet in the country. Myanmar. Is it Myanmar? Is that how you say it? That was one of them. They're like, they have internet, but it's only Facebook. That's it. They can't even click links that then lead outside of Facebook. And because of that, people who wanted to spread misinformation throughout the country were able to very, very easily do so, and overthrow and establish dictatorships. And Facebook fully not only knew that that's what it was going to be used for, but optimized the system to make it easier because it got them engagement.
Yeah.
And has continued doing so despite that happening over and over again, because Mark Zuckerberg is a demon, like all the rest of them are.
Yeah.
So that happened, and Jeff Bezos is also one of those. So at some point, somebody at some point in this chat, I saw it fly past while we were having the conversation, saying that J.K. Rowling was making a bigger impact negatively than Jeff Bezos. And no.
Somebody said
fucking
that?
no. That's
Nobody
not
said
true
that.
at all.
Nobody
They
said
did.
that.
They compared. They were like J.K. Rowling, something about like Jeff Bezos isn't calling.
Maybe the
isn't like affecting all like I know J.K. Rowling is loud in the same way that fucking Donald Trump is loud. They have different the Demon Coalition that is running all this shit and trying to take over for their own comfort has different skill levels, and there are the faces, and then there are the ones that do shit behind the scenes, and the faces are the ones that we all yell at because they're very easy to yell at. That's what they're there for. They are put in those, they are available for us to attack on Twitter and yell at people for supporting, while the other 9 out of 10 continue doing just as bad things and maybe even worse.
I think,
without making it a big announcement that they're doing that.
I think that generally there's very little point or need to compare the badness of bad people, for the most part, as they all sort of exist in that same bubble of like evil, unless there is an intentionally impactful result of having the conversation. And if it's something like someone tells you that you need to cut off your mom because, and you have like an okayish relationship with her because she uses AI or something, then it naturally navigates into like the impact conversation of things. And because the nuance of this is in fact a consistency issue, it's an impossible consistency standard to uphold. This idea that we have to manage every single thing equally as bad and then navigate our money and our interests and everything about it. So like, in general, there are the people who care about the bad things that are happening and attempting to minimize it, and the people who don't, and then the people who are contributing to the bad things actively, right? Like, that's kind of the three. You're either in one of them, and if you're in the two, if you're in the one, if you're in the one on the far left side of it, then you're not actually you're not in my laser focus of consideration, because I'm struggling myself to uphold these standards, and so I know other people are. I have the means to uphold these standards and a lot of the time to be able to do them, and so it's like, but I can only imagine, like, there are people who care a lot about these things and that don't have the means and ability, and they're just not going to be my, like, laser focus of consideration, because it's kind of a trickle down thing. There's the evil people, and then everything they contribute, and then how we all like interact with it at the bottom, sort of thing. And yeah, I mean, I've broken it down into broader concepts for myself, because it could be like on an individual basis I'm assessing, but for the most part it's really like, if you're in this group of people who are choosing and wish to not cause as much harm and are trying their best to be as knowledgeable about things, then when you get a take wrong about Israel-Palestine, when you get a take wrong about AI, when you get a take wrong about media, about celebrities, about veganism, about things that are just like, there are things to be wrong about, then you get it wrong. Like, then you get it wrong, and it's a moment, it's a time to talk about and consider impact, but you have not shifted into like a different category of person. And so, yeah, I mean, or yeah, Harry Potter, like, you bought Harry Potter stuff. It's just one of those like reality to conversational thing. I have to break it up into broader categories because I'm interacting with a lot of different types of people, and I care about all of them, and they're all doing, realistically, different bad shit. Every single one of them has got their own like different bad shit going on. We've talked about how Kate would get canceled. We've talked about how Matt would get canceled. We've talked about how I'm gonna get canceled. That's like mostly a joke, but also the consideration for whether or not you have been turned against favor in public eye is not the same one that I'm holding for the people in my life. Like, there are different standards, and so I think that's like kind of part of the conversation that I'm rambling on about. But I would throw 10 cents at J.K. Rowling, and theoretically she could pocket it. So keep that into your consideration on the cancellation list. I would throw heavy, honestly, probably bigger than a dime, potentially $50,
Any
At
y'all
J.K.
friends
Rowling,
with
if
men? Because that's
given-
pretty sus, but I could find some issues there.
Yeah, how many of your male friends bought Harry Potter at full price?
Anyway, thanks for joining us for our nice, quiet morning.
Push the button.
Really,
How are you
really.
feeling?
I feel fine.
Really?
Yeah.
Nothing bothers Kyle. I swear to God, I came out here for no reason. You guys could have all just like shit on her all stream, and she would have just been like,
I made a mistake.
I don't think the video went well.
The problem is that I know when I say something and people start responding to it, my thought is not like, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. It's like, I didn't say that right. And now it's going to take time to try to say it right if I want to.
Yeah.
But
I think this is almost one of those things that it's not really about saying right. It's really just about when people are holding their expectation of accountability. And it's all over the place, dependent on the person that you're talking to.
oh no, I am the man. What did you do, Sasquatch?
What have you done?
What's going to get us canceled by proxy?
I don't think they can cancel. Well, I have seen people like borderline, not canceled, but like called out for the audience behavior.
Sasquatch has only ever been at the computer doing nothing.
What's he been saying
So
at
he's
the
been
computer?
fine.
What's he been doing at the computer?
I don't know, but I think it's all in
What
our
if
chats.
it's just a ginormous library of Tarantino movies?
Wow.
Cancel Sasquatch.
Don't really. We love him.
Don't really.
We got to push the button from Cass.
Okay. Kaya Wright says, "Don't worry, I try to avoid being friends with men when I can. To be clear, this is a joke."
Backdoor is going to jump in and have to have this whole conversation with you again because he left before most of this happened.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's also gonna watch the video.
Probably, maybe, yeah. He tends
But-
to do that.
This is actually one of those things where I actually think Backdoor, like, this is clearly Backdoor's, like, thing. Like, and that's...
Right, yeah.
And he probably knows more, cares more, and is more in the right about his
Backdoor
feelings on
did leave
this
an
stuff.
essay in Discord. Oh, he's right there.
Oh.
Hey, I've been listening, just couldn't type. Cool.
Yeah, and that's kind of my point is, like, people have their things to really care and know about extensively and have reason to, like, correct you within those things. Like, Backdoor immediately pointed out that the goblins are racist, and it was like, oh, I mean,
Yeah.
I even had the passing thought when playing the game. I'm not sure that it reflects on any reason as to why I bought the game or morally into my decision to have spent the $5 because I forgot. Because I haven't navigated Harry Potter stuff in so long.
Yeah.
That I actually forgot the goblins existed.
I have only seen the movies once.
And I also was, like, really surprised that the game started with the interactions with the goblins, who I personally think are, like, a little bit cute.
They were prominent. Also,
for the
I mean,
evil
so
ones.
far in the little bit, again, like, you know, little windows of interaction. I've watched the movie one time a while ago, and now we're starting the game now, and the little bits that I've seen of the goblins feel very D&D goblin-y, other than the fact that they run a bank, which is a bit on the nose.
I think,
on the
you know what?
on the offensively sized nose.
I think hating Serona Ryan and hating the goblins and stuff, I think that makes sense because that really resonates to me and my concepts of being like, I hate this female character that you really like because I see all these negative stereotypes tied into that character. This is reminding me of Gamergate, actually, too, which is that, like, people don't like when you identify problematic characters and stereotypes within the character writing because you're dismantling, like, I don't know, something close to them, a part of their childhood or whatever. But it's totally valid to point out especially those kinds of things because I didn't know is, like, part of it, but also, like, that's the kind of stuff I get mad about. When people are like, I watched this anime, and I'm like, okay. And then I Google an image of that anime characters, like the female characters.
Yeah.
My criticism is largely on the people who make the anime, but there's also, like, there's spillover. There's spillover into you.
Right. There's
And
definitely an
that's-
amount of, like, I'm okay with this.
Of the person who watched it.
Right.
Yeah.
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 I completely agree.
And, like, but that's literally everybody all the time about everything. Women are, like, represented badly. So if, like, Serona Ryan is just, like, really gross, disgusting trans representation for reasons I don't understand other than that her name is literally Serona,
That's just
which
following
is
the naming convention of being really, really.
on the fucking nose, I guess. Like, what is that? That was.
I thought she was cool. I
She was
saw her
great.
the one scene. And I
I'm
thought
sure she
was great.
stays great because clearly, and I think it was an obvious nod from the developers that like J.K. Rowling's not involved. She would never have let that
Right.
happen.
Yeah.
Like
No.
the people who made the game, like there's also an artistic appreciation, unfortunately. And I know that this case gets made about like shitty animes and other shitty movies, but like people really put so much fucking
People
care
who weren't
into that
J.K.
game.
Rowling, though, that's the thing, right? It's different when it's like, but Tarantino's such a good artist or whatever. But it's like, no, because it came out of his gross little brain.
This is one of those things where like on a platform I was not inclined to talk about how great the game actually is because that's where I would draw like the line at impact.
Yeah.
Because I'm not trying to get a bunch of people to go out and buy it.
Right.
But in terms of like our
Probably
conversations
shouldn't
and
have said
how
that part.
we talked about how great the game is, because
I was
we
just
care
surprised
about
at
this kind of
at
stuff.
the design quality. That's all. Don't buy it. It's still like, I mean, clearly after this conversation, I'm not endorsing spending the money. Like maybe pirate it or something if you're interested. But I was just surprised. I saw it. I didn't expect it to be. I also thought it was going to be like a shill, AAA money grab piece of shit. Like that's why. I also was like not even. It wasn't even on my radar because I thought it was
$5. The $5 was sort of an opposite mindset to us than to some people. To some people, that was having spent the money to her, and to us, it was like specifically avoiding spending the money to her. Do you know what I
Right,
mean?
yeah,
Like,
'cause
in
we were
our
like,
mind, we
this-
were like, "This is not
Let's look at
spending
what
the
the
money."
garbage game is and then return it after or something if it's actually like like
Ooh, I got it for
worthless.
free on Epic.
Anyway, there were some push the buttons, but we kept
For the
talking and I
second
missed
stream
them.
of the year, too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We
Great
bombed
start.
Venezuela. 2026 is
Been
going
having to
great.
ignore that.
Yeah.
Woke up and immediately got to read about how my country, the Fire Nation, has started the invasion of the rest of the fucking world.
It was a really insufferable conversation. Everything about this is like, I can't be on the internet when major news events happen because the left liberal
Venezuela
split
tomorrow.
happens and I'm literally get furious.
Push the button, you get to chuck 10 cents at J.K. Rowling, but she also gets 10 cents. I think the pain probably
I
is
would
worth.
push that button.
Yeah.
My aim is true. Be a Katniss Everdeen moment.
Push the button, you get to see your favorite creators play Persona, but you're going to have a very stressful morning one day.
I like how everybody on the team is absolutely fucking stressed out.
That's because they're all attached to us now.
Back in the old day when I decided to have things like a controversial channel on the Discord, which I did do, I created an entire channel on our old Discord called Controversial.
That's right. We didn't know what we were doing.
Everybody was just casually, lovingly making door monster videos before Kyle met me, and then I literally just decided to make everybody's days worse by like going online and saying outlandish shit or doing outlandish shit and causing all these problems.
Well, at this point,
yeah,
I think that's
everybody-
I think it's worse than
Ian,
just...
Rachel, like the constant like head holding, like what happened now kind of thing. Eventually, people learned to really love the drama that I brought, but it took a minute.
The world caught up to you, though, because now navigating it, pretending nothing is happening, is honestly, I think a bigger red flag than thinking it through and still making a decision that people might not totally agree with, you know? Like,
Yeah,
ignoring it entirely, I think, is not...
I agree with you.
trustworthy, I guess. Like when I like if there are creators and artists and stuff who are like, I just don't think about that kind of stuff. I'm just doing my own goofy little thing over here. It's like, okay, well,
Yeah.
I don't know who you are then well enough to care about supporting you, I guess, what it
Yeah.
comes down to. It's like I need to see you angry. Like I feel this way about actual people too, like that you would be friends with and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I need to see what it looks like when you do get mad so that I know what you get mad about and how, you know?
Yeah. I genuinely appreciate the take in the Twitch chat over here, which says you shouldn't feel bad. You haven't done anything wrong, and you're a person that are allowed to like things and dislike things. And someone said this: your experience interacting with art and personal views of the artist are two different things. I really appreciate that and value that mindset, and I also don't agree. My point isn't even that this was a completely
Yeah.
acceptable thing. My point was that it was in fact a very low impact thing, and that the impact is not like it's not non-existent. It's just low impact, like a lot of other things that I'm also navigating all the time. But yeah, this is not like a fully neutral territory in terms of like, because it's a game that we didn't have to buy. But I feel like I'm in, God, I don't know. I actually don't know if everybody feels like this all the way, but I feel like I'm constantly in and of different minds all the time. I'm bouncing back and forth about constantly living with the two things being true at once. Mentality, and it's just overwhelming all the time. But I see how it's both things. I see how it's severely problematic to some people and really not worthy of discussion for other people. And I think where it lands for me and why it was an action I contributed is because I see exactly to my line of where it is problematic, and it is within the range of acceptability. That's why I did it. Because it's a $5 game that sends sense to a person I don't like, but otherwise brings me and my life things that make it easier and more enjoyable. It's okay to be on different lines of that also.
Yeah.
But it hasn't changed my mind about it, I guess is kind of where I'm at.
Yeah.
I would have navigated this conversation. Sounds like differently than you did. I wasn't here for the first 20 minutes, but
I brought it up right at the end. We were talking about other stuff before that.
What are you talking about?
At this point, I can't remember.
Cool.
I was bringing it up very casually as just like, oh, I did this interesting thing. I was being very stupid about it, and I appreciate you coming in and helping me talk my way out of it.
You dropped a candy bar wrapper on the ground. Your mistake was being on the internet while doing so. More like threw it on the ground.
Yeah.
Which I would not do. I would actually not throw trash on the ground more than I would not buy a $5 game.
I also don't throw trash on the ground, except for like maybe like the one or two times in my life where I absolutely have, and thankfully nobody saw me do it when I did that. But I've done it.
Yeah, I think the point is that there is an intentionality to our decision, which is where the rage
Matt, you're quite late.
We are up late, yeah.
Anyway, no, I'm saying he's late.
But he's saying we're up late.
We are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, I think the point is that there is an intentionality to it, and that is part of the problem, right? That is part of the sticking point for other people.
Right.
So it is more like if you threw a wrapper on the ground,
not good
and then
that I
went
did it
online
when I did
and we're
it.
like, you know what? Not all littering's that bad. Actually, I get a thrill from it.
Right. It's not a good thing. It's not good to throw trash on the ground, and you also didn't you're so far from dooming the planet by doing so.
Yeah. But also like don't throw trash on the ground.
But also
and tell
don't
people
do that.
To do it.
And definitely don't tell people to do it.
And
don't defend yourself
is,
for doing it. It's a wrong thing that I did. I just don't care. That's what it comes down to. For some reason I learned this sentence way too late in life, which
you got
is
her going.
I
did my best, guys.
The sentence I don't care.
Duck and cover.
There's just like I don't know. That's basically it. I don't have to keep going.
You don't care about what, honey?
About what? I don't know. I don't care. I don't care that one time I don't even know what I'm talking about. I just know that it's happened before.
You're talking about the laser beam thing that I'm talking about. You literally don't care when people are casually interacting with these kinds of things on their low level of interest.
I spent most of my life following the rules.
You are looking at the person over here with exclusively one goal in mind, which is to understand how to dismantle this person or this system. And when people around it do not navigate it perfectly, you literally cannot be bothered to give a shit. You are not going to care if somebody buys a Harry Potter book. You're not going to care if somebody litters one time. You're just not going to care if people don't recycle or aren't vegan. This is not on your spectrum of interest. Your spectrum of interest has and always will be the one thing, and you have learned in your brain that that's how your management works, so you can't hold individual people in your life accountable for those things because they are not of interest. Your brain is wired differently in that regard. And like,
I guess. But yeah, that's accurate.
Do you return the shopping cart?
To the one yeah, always.
Yeah, Kyle's
that's what I'm saying. I do that kind of thing all the time. But you know what? If I was having an awful fucking day sometime and I was like, and I just and like for some reason it was like, I'm not putting it back today, I wouldn't care that I did that thing. I would agree with anybody saying that it was a bad, shitty thing to do, and I would continue feeling that way, and I just wouldn't give a shit that one time out of 500 I didn't put the shopping cart back.
And interesting enough,
'Cause-
that's never happened.
And also, that's never happened.
But even less than you care about if you put the shopping cart back. You care even less if other people do it.
I mean, yeah, kind of. I mean, yeah.
Kyle's got like
Right.
you hold yourself accountable, and the
It just
people around you
defines
is like
who
not
you
gonna
are.
be me.
If you don't put shopping carts back ever, you suck. And I'm not. I'm not gonna regard you. You don't exist in my brain anymore.
But Kyle also has an unreasonable soft spot and affinity for slightly villainous people. Is all I have to say. So perhaps that's part of it.
Do I? It depends on how they're villainous.
Yeah. If Kyle learned that like someone did something slightly villainous, like not return a shopping cart, I think it would just update your memory of that person to be like, oh, they're on the more villainous side of things.
No, that one I don't think it would. That one's just basic, like, because that one's just lazy and like upsettingly selfish. Villainous is slightly different.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like what?
It's the Megamind thing. It's the villain versus supervillain issue.
Right, so you could
I like supervillains. I don't just like regular villains.
Yeah, okay, I see.
The difference is presentation.
Yeah, like what's a supervillain that you... Oh, you said Megamind. Does he actually do anything like bad? Or does he just try and fail? It really is about intention, though.
I just mean it's not if you don't
Does
return
making a
shopping
burn book
carts.
count?
Yeah, no, yes, that I will love you for. If you don't put shopping carts back, like what the fuck is that? Fuck off. I'm not interested in you. But if you make a burn book about people, now we might be friends. Now we can talk. It's the care.
And what about
It's the investment.
Okay, sure. What about buying The Last of Us after just having watched your video?
That means you're a contrarian and you're my least favorite kind of person.
Oh, yeah.
And when
That's
you say buying
actually-
The Last of Us, I assume you mean like paying for The Last of Us Season 2 or something. The Last of Us is a great game. You should buy it and play it. It's awesome.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I forgot that the game is not made by Mazin also.
Or you should pirate it, which I also kind of did at one point. The game, yeah, Mazin has nothing to do with the game.
Yeah, you're right.
And Druckmann has very little to do with the game.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like villainous traits that somebody could have. What if they're just like a compulsive but mildly well-intentioned liar?
In doing the lies? Mm-hmm. No, that sounds annoying.
Are you guys getting a sense of her spectrum yet? I'm trying to think of more things. What if
That just makes you annoying.
What if they
Shoplifter, I'm on board. Especially if you like have like a whole technique. if you've thought it through, if you know what you're doing, if you're like a seasoned shoplifter, yeah, we're gonna be friends.
What if you I'm trying to think of things that aren't like cardinal sins.
Lying,
in
it's
your
funny
book.
though. You know what? Lying would depend on who you lie to, except I've met enough of them that it's never limited to specific people.
I actually know a friend of Kyle who was very compulsively lying.
Right.
And you did not dislike that person very much. You quite liked who that person was.
I don't know which one you're talking about.
Interesting.
I think I know which one you're talking about. That's because I liked who that person was in spite of it.
That's
I wanted those
part
things
of
to go
it.
away. That's a different spectrum. That was
Okay.
I could see the potential in that person and was upset that they were
What about a
squandering
person
it.
who body checks everyone?
No.
There's no judgment to body checking.
No, because there should be judgment to body checking. Some people deserve it, some people don't. So if you're just wantonly doing that, then you have no social awareness, and you are just causing a problem, and you're just demanding space. If your thing, it's really
I'm
just
okay with people who body check everyone.
Which way are you punching? That's the other like actual sympathetic supervillains are the ones that are like objectively
Punching
on the
up.
lower tier and are generally punching up, and maybe don't care if they catch people in the crossfire, and that's what makes them like edgy.
Mm-hmm.
But like you at least are aiming upward. If you're just like a white man that's like, people are gonna get out of my way. I'm gonna trip you. You're the you're the bad. You're
But if
the
you're
problem.
like a small 5'1" white girl that body checks everybody.
Better. But probably still
Even children.
should isolate that a little bit more, I'd say. So I'm not sure. That's more on the fence.
And the contempt you might hold for this person, how serious is it? Cancelable offense or
What do you mean cancelable? I don't cancel. That's not a thing. I don't know what that means. It depends on if the problem with canceling is they have to be doing something to then they have to have something you can take away, like an influence, right? Canceling is for people with influence. If it's just like a woman in New York, right? Like if Polaris just body checks people, then it's more just like, I don't know. Word. Good job being a New Yorker, I guess. Like, who gives a fuck?
yeah.
There's a level of
Yeah.
care that has to exist too.
Yeah, fair. Fair. Okay. All right. Learning things myself, actually.
Are you?
Okay, so if it's a punching up, punching down
I thought we were
thing,
ending.
we're on the spectrum of we'll end. We're on the spectrum of buying a game at a 95% discount where 10 cents of it goes to J.K. Rowling is the punching happening.
I just don't. There's no punching. It's nothing. That's almost living. That's like technically making a purchase that you didn't need to make. And I don't give a shit.
But
Anybody
what if
else can do
every
the same
single-
thing. I'm not gonna care.
What if she gets so many 10 cents from the game that she
She's not.
she then buys?
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
Okay.
I also don't deal in hypotheticals. I'm not gonna make stupid arguments over things that might happen in moral. Like I'm past my moral thought experiment era. I've got that. You use those to establish an understanding if you don't have real life experience to base it off of.
Yeah.
And that's why philosophers exist.
Okay.
It's for those guys.
All right, we're leaving. We're going. This is the time. All right. Push the button. We're leaving.
Push the button. We're leaving.
Goodbye,
Thanks,
everybody.
How has it
Please
been almost
push the
2
button.
hours? That doesn't even make sense.
You're the best.
All
Thanks
right. Yeah,
for
we'll
being here.
Probably be back tomorrow morning.
Don't come for sweet Kyle. She's so sweet.
I didn't mean it. I
Look
probably
at
did.
her. Look at her. She definitely meant whatever she said. She's just sad that it didn't go well. And I don't know what it was yet. But
Bye.
bye.
See you on the Discord.